Alright, here we are, everyone. Back to Apple Turnover Gang in Shadows of Brimstone. We are going to go into the mines again. We just had town, so kind of as a quick recap for you all. In town, we had been to a river town, which provides everybody with an extra grit to start. And of course, Bechamel had gained a grit, lost a grit, or started with maximum grit and then lost a grit, as well as gaining a grit for being for the river town. So everybody basically is at 2 grit to start the adventure. At the end of the previous episode, so 2 before this, the last adventure. Pete had picked up 2 interesting items. He had picked up the Totem trench pistol, range 5, 3 shots plus 1 damage, but it takes a corruption hit to fire it. So that was to replace his regular pistol. And then he also picked up the Tattered Duster. So anytime he would take a corruption point, roll a d6, on the roll 5 plus, prevent it, and it gives him 2 more health. So that gives him basically armor against corruption points. So that is what he is dual wielding at this point, instead of us buying a gunfighter's pistol, which would be, I think it's a range 7, 3 shots in the town. Instead, we spent our money, and Doc sold all his stuff. Doc made out like a bandit, so we picked up weapons for Doc, got rid of his lightsaber, which is unfortunate, but, you know, this is going to be better. So tools of science, your base combat is now equal to your cunning, so that's going to be 1 hand, and then we have a feathered hatchet, which gives him +1 combat, +1 damage for combat, and in his other. And then we also picked him up a gambler's deck to give him +1 cunning. Once per adventure, he can cancel and redraw a darkness card. Excuse me. So that is what Doc's wielding now, instead of I don't remember which hatchet. He had a hatchet or an axe or something in one hand, trusty axe, I think, something like that, and the lightsaber. So he is now rolling. His cunning's a 4 +1 for the looking glass, +1 for the gambler's deck. So he's got a total of 6 cunning. So he's now rolling 6 dice to attack. Because of the tools of science, they are all +1 damage. And because of his rough skin gloves, he has +1, or he can gets 1 free reroll of those dice. So that is the big thing. The 2 big changes that we have. And Bechamel still has her breaching gun. We may want to try to upgrade that later. We will see how well the Totem trench pistol works for Pete. It may not work. We may need to get a different weapon for him. But he does have the ribbon as his personal item, so he can remove a corruption point if one does get through, and there very well may be. So we'll have to see. We are close to leveling up. We might level up with this adventure. We will have to see. We're right about... they're about 750 experience points each. So we'll see. Now, as a reminder, we are working on the Black Fang Tribe Mission Pack. So, Black Fang Tribe. So the last adventure was Mission 1, which is the Blood Harvest. Now we are in Mission 2, called Rain Dance. Okay? It says, storm clouds gather overhead, growing darker and more ominous by the moment. A powerful wind sweeps over the land, and the tribal drums and chanting of the Black Fang echo through the canyons in the distance. The Black Fang have set up altars and are performing a corrupted rain dance to summon a storm from the void. So the mission starts with the mine entrance map tile, which leads directly to a T-junction map tile. If you have the Canyons world, use the Canyons entrance and T-junction passage instead. Ooh, so hold on, let me swap this out. I should have read ahead. Hold on. All right, I have rewound this a little. All right, so this is kind of exciting. Canyons map tiles have just broke them out here. Have not used them yet. So here we are. We have the Canyons. So Canyons entrance to the Cameron's T-junction. Excellent. Okay. There we go. Excuse me. So, now, before the adventure begins, choose any 2 exploration tokens that have a clue icon on them and remove them from the stack for this mission. Alright, and so here's what we have for clue tokens. So we've got an attack, a growing dread with an encounter, 2 counters, and an encounter with a gate. So, you guys all know me. So I'm going to get rid of the one that goes to another world. Especially these are the canyons. Let's stay in the canyons and use the canyons. All right, and then probably the one that adds the growing dread. As much as I like encounters, let's get rid of the one with the growing dread. So we've got an attack, a 2 encounter, and a 1 encounter. So that is what I am taking. It's a very interesting setup so far. I'm not sure what taking those clue tokens out, but let's take a look. Mission goal: the heroes must find and destroy 2 of the Black Fang altars to prevent the oncoming storm. Special rules: it is a themed adventure for Black Fang. So as a reminder, what that means is this is a Black Fang adventure. We have these nifty cards. Okay. So what it means is whenever you draw 1 or more encounters, even in another world, roll a d6 on 1, 2, or 3. It also has a Black Fang encounter. So in this case, it would be a Paradise of Black Fang Tribes. Also, whenever a threat card is drawn, roll a d6 on a 1, 2, or 3. Oh, sorry, Black Fang encounter cards, not enemies. And then the common enemy, Black Fang Tribe. Whenever a threat's drawn, roll a d6 on a 1, 2, or 3. Instead, the heroes are attacked by Black Fang Tribe, which will be a Paradise of Black Fang Tribesmen. And if you roll a 1, it includes a shaman as well. And whenever Black Fang Tribe enemies are encountered, roll a d6 on a 1, 2, or 3. They have a Black Fang trait card, which gives them different buffs and bonuses. Alright, and as a reminder, Black Fang Tribe are pretty tough. They have a 6 initiative. They have a pool of Darkstone, which gives them extra hits. They have endurance too. That's going to be the worst thing. They can't take more than 2 wounds from any single hit. And wild attack, they attack everybody that's adjacent to them. But they only hit on 5+, 3 dice doing 2 damage. It's not too horrible, but they just said they do hit everybody. So that is the Black Fang. The big thing is, you have to get lots of hits, which is partially why we decided we're going to give Doc the tools of science for more DACA. Although, of course, his is combat melee hits. Not really DACA, but that's the same sort of concept. So he has more hits. Sebastian's the only one who's not doing a whole lot of hits. She's only got the 2 dice for her shotgun, her breaching gun, but it will lower their defense a little bit to try to get make sure we get some damage. And if it is possible to not run into a Black Fang Tribe enemy, in which case the breaching gun, especially if we get a large enemy, will be super useful. And if she could carry more, it might be worth at some point picking up some a spare weapon that shoots a lot. If we can get like a trusty pistol or something, and if she doesn't have actually, I don't know if she can use a trusty pistol, but the same sort of concept. Something that will get her a few more shots. even like a fallen gunfighter's pistol to dual wielding those or something like that. But she can't really carry a lot, so that is probably unlikely. But we will see. Anyway, continuing with the rain dance. So it is a Black Fang adventure. There are no gates. Oh, no gates can be found in this mission. Instead, it is a door. So maybe we want to remove the attack. Well, let's keep the attack. Because, we need the experience points. If we want to level, it would be nice to level them up a little bit more. Get to the 3rd level. Of course, the 3rd level gives an elite ability to enemies starting then. So that could be a little dangerous. But there are no gates. So, and a Void Storm at the start of each turn. So I'm going to have to try to remember this. I very well might forget it, so I apologize in advance. At the start of each turn, place 1 sanity marker by the depth track. 2 if the darkness is in the center portion of the depth track. 3 if it's in the end portion, so it'll get more difficult as the darkness rises. Whenever a darkness card is drawn, also take all sanity markers currently on the depth track and distribute them to the heroes as sanity damage, ignoring willpower. Divided between them as they see fit. Alright, well that's not bad. So Doc could get a whole bunch because he has Spirit Armor. 4+, in fact. Eldritch Lightning. Anytime a depth event is rolled, doubles on the hold back the darkness roll, is what that means. Instead of the normal result, 1 random hero is struck by a bolt of Eldritch Lightning as arrow crackles and purple sparks of energy. That hero immediately takes a number of wounds equal to double the number rolled. So double 3s will do equal to the double rolled, not double what was rolled. So double 3s does 3 wounds, ignoring defense, as well as a number of corruption hits equal to your hero level. This does not apply to rolling a double 6, which is treated as normal. So double 6s are still okay. So that will probably happen a couple times because we have the Void Lantern. And I think that's actually, I don't know, distributing out the sanity. Alright, that's not too bad. So there's not going to be any depth events, only that Eldritch Lightning. And the objective Dread. For this mission, any growing Dread cards currently in the stack are resolved and then discarded when each of the Dread objectives below are discovered. Okay, so there's kind of like multi-bosses, I guess, in this one. Objectives. Finding a Black Fang altar. Each time the heroes find a clue icon, and that's why there's only 3 in there. Alright, so we have to find all 3 clue tokens. Okay. They discovered one of the Black Fang altars. Actually, I guess we need 2 of the 3, right? Because our objective is, double check, 2. Yes, 2 altars. Okay. Each time the heroes find a clue icon, they have discovered one of the Black Fang altars as a Dread objective. Ignore any doors listed on the exploration token. Place a Black Fang altar marker in the back leftmost 2 spaces of the map tile. Encounters/attacks on the exploration token are resolved as normal. In addition, roll a d6. On a 1, 2, or 3, the altar is also guarded by enemies. Draw a threat card, also rolling to see if they are common enemies per the adventure card. So, basically there's an attack. Regardless of what else is on the exploration token, there is an attack. Alright, so Darkstone Totem. Each Black Fang altar is a Darkstone Totem of one of the sinister Dark World spirits that the Black Fang worship. When a Black Fang altar is found, roll a d6 to see which spirit bonus the altar grants to all enemies while it is in play. And you roll a d6, and there's a couple of interesting different things. Gives like +1 combat, +1 initiative, and some move, etc. Extra health. Oh, extra health would suck. Alright, and then destroying a Black Fang altar. It blocks movement through both its spaces, but not line of sight. Any hero adjacent to a Black Fang altar may give up their attack for the turn, even when not in a fight, to choose any one of their skills, lore, cunning, etc., and make a skill test 6+ to work on destroying the Black Fang altar. And you can also choose, you can kind of make up a story of how you are using that skill to destroy the altar. For each 6+ rolled, place a marker on the Black Fang altar and gain 10 experience. To destroy a Black Fang altar, the heroes must collectively place a number of these markers equal to the posse level +2 per hero. So posse level is 2, and then 2, 4, 6. So 8. We need 8 total markers to destroy each altar. When you've destroyed both altars, the mission is completed. As a reward, we get D6 times $50 and D3 Darkstone per hero. If we fail, the Void Storm sweeps through the land, destroying nearby towns. Must proceed directly to the next adventure without visiting town, and gain D3 Corruption points, ignoring willpower. Okay, a lot of stuff going on, folks, but hopefully it won't be too rough for me. So again, the thing is, at the start of each turn, we have to place a sanity marker by the depth track. Okay? And then whenever a darkness card is drawn, that sanity is going to get distributed out. So, that's a lot of stuff. So, you know what? I am going to swap out that attack because the altar is going to come with enemies anyway. So, now that I know, we haven't started yet, I am going to swap the attack with the clue icon for the encounter. Because again, no gates, so we are staying in the canyons. So, let us get started here. Bechamel now has the higher initiative, so we can't choose between Bechamel and Doc. Bechamel is a 5, Doc is a 4 initiative. Remember, he had the +1 because of the lightsaber, which we got rid of. So, Bechamel rolls to move. She gets a big 2. 1, 2. Oh, I need to roll to hold back the darkness. What am I thinking? 7 is good. Oh, and we get a sanity token over here. I'm going to try to say that maybe a few times as we play. Try to remind myself that I am doing that. Alright, Doc gets to move a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, and then Pete is going to move 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, next turn. Get another sanity. Double 6s. Nobody's wounded. Nobody can get an additional grit because we're starting with an additional grit already. Jeez. So, okay. But that does not give us Eldritch Lightning. That's a good thing. Bechamel. Oh, I moved them wrong. Bloop. That's Doc. That's Bechamel. Man, can't believe I didn't look at them. Bechamel gets to move 4. I don't know which way is going to be better. It's a T-junction, so I guess because Doc's kind of in the way, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we'll let Doc move. 3, 1, 2, 3. And then he is actually going to look through. And we find an underground spring. Okay. That. Fancy dancy. Alright. I'll see that. Alright, that is pretty good. You know what? Let's put this up there. You guys can see that a little bit better. Okay. So we get a random token. There. Alright. And then Pete can move a big 6. So he'll go ahead and go right there. That way, that will prevent them from moving through. Actually, yeah, because Bechamel goes first, and she can't move through people. So, not that she necessarily will need to. Yeah, it just means that if there's a Black Fang enemy, and he'll attack and hit all 3 of them. But let's just go with that. See what we have. We have 1 exit and an attack. So the exit is to the left. So we'll go ahead and close that off there. Okay. And we are attacked. So, Black Fang Adventure, roll a d6 to see what we are attacked by. We are not attacked by a Black Fang enemy, because it's 1, 2, or 3, so we are attacked by a regular enemy. Okay, and we find 3 Custodians of Theriot and a Targa Pylon. Interesting. Okay, so farthest back into the left will be the Targa Pylon. Alright, and then, let's see. We use the Custodians, are going to go there, and there, and here. Perfect. Now, let's take a look. So, Targa Pylons, we've seen them before. Initiative 4, they are immobile. Critically, it's only reduced their defense to 2 instead of 0. They have a laser beam, 1 shot, 12 range, 2 damage. But each hit does d6 hits. So, I mean, it's one shot, but it turns into d6 hits. So, and it does have a 3+ range to hit. Not too bad. Now, it is interesting to note that there is no diagonal there. That's blocked. So, theoretically, it doesn't have line of sight kind of to that top part. I don't think it's going to make a big difference. But if that's something that I can work out. Obviously, I could also back up around the corner if I wanted to avoid the Targa Pylon. I think it's probably okay. I think we can deal with that. Alright, and then the Custodians of Theriot, which I don't think we've actually run into yet in any of the games. Not just the Apple Turnover, but I don't believe Joseph Scott's did. They are Initiative 4, so Pestromo is going to go before everybody else, but that is it. Alright, so they have Electric Shock at the start of this enemy's activation. Every adjacent hero takes 3 hits. Ouch. Alright, they have a Defense Laser, which is a range 8 2-shot damage 3 ranged attack. They can repair, so at the start of enemy's activation, if there are no adjacent heroes, it heals 2 wounds from itself and all adjacent Targa Pylon and robot enemies, which they are all robot enemies here. The Targa Custodians are robot. And they have a repair protocol. When selecting a target, include any damaged Targa Pylons. So we'll move to get adjacent for repair, but it still targets a random hero with a defense laser. And they have 8 health, 3 defense. They are a 3 combat, 1 damage. Okay, they do have a move 10. Interesting. So, when looking to target, if the Targa Pylon's damaged, so it's going to move to get adjacent and heal the Targa Pylon. So, is that a good thing? Do we shoot the Targa Pylon so that he can't get in? There are only 3 combat doing 1 damage, so I'm not as concerned about that. But let us hold back the darkness. Double 6s again. Okay. Well, that doesn't do much. We do have to put a sanity marker on next to the depth track. Keep track of that, and we did advance the depth track by 1 as well. So Bechamel, what do you want to do? Well, you have a range of 4 with your breaching gun, so she's going to have to at least step forward. So she rolls to move. She gets a big 2. Well, that's about all she can do. So 1, 2, she is in range of 4 of everything except for the Targa Pylon. Actually, I guess she's just in range of the Targa Pylon itself. Does she need to move that far? Sure. I mean, they've got a range of 10, a move of 10. They've got a ranged attack. It's not going to make a big difference. So, she's going to go ahead and shoot at one of the ones that are adjacent to the Targa Pylon, I guess. So let us see what we get. She has a 7 and a 1. She does have a free reroll because her breaching gun does have The inlay, I guess it is. I think it is. It gives the +1 reroll. Another one won't hit, but she does get 1 critical hit on a custodian. And they have no real defenses, so she's going to roll for damage. She does 2, is a critical, so it does +1 because of her high roller ability. So that would do 3. Does she use a grit to re-roll that? They have 8 health. She conceivably could one-shot these with a d8 +1. It's not a bad, because it's a critical. That is not necessarily a bad thing. So you know what? She'll spend a grit just in case she gets another one to re-roll that 2. And boy, jeez, both re-rolled the same thing. All right. Well, she does 3. She does 3 wounds. It's not starting off well. We'll do 3 wounds on the one on the end here. And that was her turn. So, the Custodians. Custodians have electric shock, so that's not going to affect anybody. So they are going to. Actually, they don't have. Oh, they are assault, so they are going to shoot and then move to attack. So we'll do 1. There's going to be 1 on each. So 1 defense laser at Bechamel. So 2 hits. You know what? We can go ahead and do this. So Bechamel will use her defense. She blocks 1, so 1 hit, doing 3 wounds. All right. Defense laser on Pete. So 2 hits. They get nothing special on. Oh, sorry, on Doc. I mean. That's the order we go through. Doc blocks 1, so Doc's going to take 3 wounds. Yeah, really need to get people armor. All right, and 2 shots on Pete. So that's going to be again 2 hits because they hit on 3 or better. Pete defense blocks them both. Of course, the guy with the most hit points blocks them both. All right, so who does this one go for? Let's just see. That's the one that's going to make it. So this is the one on Pete. So it's going to come all the way around here. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, we got 1 on Doc. He's going to move as far as he can. And then this one on Bechamel is going to go right there. So great. Doc is adjacent to 2 of them. And then we have combat hits. So there are 3 dice. Again, we got 3 dice on Bechamel. 2 hits. Bechamel gets her defense. She doesn't block either one, so that is going to be 2 wounds. It's not too bad, but she has taken 5. Alright, 3 dice on Doc. 1 hit. Doc rolls his defense in the box, and he blocks it. Alright, and then 3 melee hit attacks on Pete. That's 2 hits. In the box. Well, he doesn't block either one, so it's 2 more wounds. So good thing that they're pretty weak. Actually, 2 more. It's just 2. Pete had not taken any at the time. Alright, and now the Targa Pylon. So who's the Targa Pylon going to attack? Pete. That's fine. So 1 die. Hit it on 3+, so it hits. How many hits? 6 hits. Bam! Ow, alright. So 6 defense rolls. So only 2 hits, and they are 2 damage each, so that is going to be 4 wounds. It's a big 5, so there are 6 wounds on Pete at this point. So everybody took some damage. So then it is Doc's turn. So, Doc, he's got 6 dice. Hitting on 4s. That was pretty bad. So he's going to spend a grit to re-roll these. Really? You guys see this? Huh. Alright. Well, it is not meant to be. This is going to be rough. I think. This is going to be a rough. Yeah, and he spent a grit to reroll all those. So, 2 hits. Alright. And he does a d6 plus 1. So he's going to put them both on one of them. I guess we'll do that one. So that would be 4, and that would be 3 is 7. Bechamel's going to use a fortune to let him re-roll this die. Good. Alright, so that is a 5 and a 4 is a 9. Which... oh, you know... I didn't even notice if they were... critical hits. I gotta remember. I don't think they were. I don't think either one was a 6 of his hits. So I think he had a 5 and a 4. Is that right? So we'll assume that. So they are -3 each. Oh, I do have to remember that this one is stunned, so he has a -1 defense. Alright. So, geez. Alright, so this is a 1 and this is a 2, so that's 3 wounds. Well, this actually could be worse than I thought. Just because of the rolling. But then again, maybe Pete can kill him. Oh, you know, Pete could have lassoed one of them. Which probably wouldn't be a bad. It does give -1 defense. I mean, they do have the laser, so that's not a huge deal. You know what? In fact, he'll go ahead and he's going to lasso this one just to reduce its defense down. Or does he lasso this one just to make... You know what? Let's lasso this one just to make it a little easier to kill it. Yep. Just so that maybe he can kill both of them. Speaking of which, it is now Pete's turn. Oh, Doc forgot to roll for move. Well, they had no... They're already at max grit, or were at the start of their turn. So, let's go for Pete. So, Pete. So, he takes a corruption hit, which he does. Let's see if he gets his armor. He does not. Ouch. Okay, there's another corruption point. Okay, so red dice are going to be the Fallen Gunfighter's pistol. Tredaran pistol are the white. Hitting on 4s. And then he could actually even use trick shooting, which could be useful. Not doing too well. Alright, he is going to spend a grit to re-roll. It's a little bit better. 1 critical. Okay. And then, yeah, he's actually going to spend his other grit, his second grit, to do trick shooting. So, trick shooting. He hasn't used this very often. So, he can use a grit when he causes a hit with a gun to immediately cause an additional D3 other enemies in a continuous chain starting adjacent to the target to also take a single hit from that gun. So, obviously we'll start here since he has to. So D3, so basically he's definitely hitting him. Question is, will he also hit him? He does. So we know there is going to be a hit on him and a hit on him. All right. So let's start with this, because obviously we're gonna put the critical hit on this one over here, and then we got three more non-critical hits. Although potentially maybe I want to do the, actually let's do a non-critical hit, because he's got the minus. Potentially the critical hit might be best going on him, because he does not have the subtraction to armor. So we need at least 6. I'm going to roll these two. Oh, and actually, you know what? Let's say they're from the Totem pistol. So I'm going to make these white, because these are all the Totem hits, right? So okay. So we're going to roll these two on this guy. Yeah. That's what we're going to do. Alright, so he is a +1, so that is 7. Minus 3 is 4. 5, 6, 7. And that is a 4 minus 3, or minus 2. Actually, sorry, minus 2. So that is a 7 minus 2 is 5. That is enough to kill him. Did waste 1 shot there. Didn't expect to roll quite so well. That does get rid of that Custodian. Okay. So the next one gets 2 attacks here. So basically I'm applying that second one, both of these are non-criticals. But we are +1 and he only has 2 defense. Let's see what we can get. So 5 minus 2 is 3. Does Bechamel use a fortune? Yes, Bechamel will use a fortune to allow to reroll this die. Nice. Alright, so that is a 6 minus 2 is 4. And that is a 4. That is a 5 minus 2 is 3. So that will be enough to kill him. Get the lasso back. Blam blam. Alright. And then last but not least. Okay, so both these hits are from the Totem pistol. I'm going to use the red to represent the critical hit, because that's going to ignore the 3 points of armor or defense. Okay, so there is 3 and 4, because remember the Totem pistol is +1 damage. So that is 4 wounds total. And this is 6 plus 1 is 7 minus 3 is 4, which is 8, which is just enough to get rid of it. Pete, kicking butt. Oh, and he roped an enemy. No, he roped an enemy at the start of his turn, so he still had his grit. So he gained some experience, but gaining the grit wouldn't have made a difference. Well, that helped. All right. Thank goodness. We do probably want to give a heal to Bechamel at 5, because she doesn't have a lot of health. But let's hold back the darkness, because it's the start of a new turn. Add a point of sanity. A 10 is good. So Bechamel rolling to move. She gets a big 6, so she's actually probably good just right there. Let you move a little bit closer to the exit there, and then she rolls to attack. a 5 and a 2. She's got obviously a free reroll for one of them, and that is another 5, so 2 hits, but they are not criticals. Hitting the target pylon. Does have a defense of 4, which is unfortunate. But she does roll a 7 and a 4, so the 4 won't do anything, but the 7 will. So that will do 3 wounds. And that will put a stun marker, drop its defense down by 1, which will be helpful. Alright, and then the target pylon gets to go, so who's he going to shoot at? He is going to shoot at Pete. He misses. Doc's turn. Doc rolls to move. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And he's going to take some big swings here. 6 dice. Hitting on 4s. Really? Yeah, he'll spend his last grit to re-roll this. Let's get a whole brand new 6 dice, because those are obviously jinx, right? In the box would be good. He still only hits 2 times. Neither one a critical. Alright. So we are -3, so that is going to be 2 more wounds. Goes to 5. So that's a good thing anyway. Again, we don't get to, neither one of them, Buster Mel and Doc, get bonuses on killing enemies for regaining grit or fortune. But neither one has been able to kill anything. It's been Pete at the low initiative who's been cleaning everything up. And then, speaking of which, Pete... he will, again, he'll move in close as well. He is just going to fire the Fallen Gunfighter's pistol. Oh, you know what? He dual-wielded and he couldn't have, he couldn't have critical hit. I don't know why I completely spaced on that. I apologize. I did catch it now, but that kind of defeats the purpose. I would have had... we would have had another custodian hanging around. So I will just call that a my bad, and we will continue soldiering on, because it is a little too late for him to do anything. And he gets, of course, now he gets two critical hits. And start of his turn, if he does not have any grit, he can see if he gets grit, and he does not, because of course, why would I get free grit? I don't think I've ever had that work for him. But that is -2 on each die. That's 3, 6, and he had 5. That is enough to kill the target pylon. So I apologize. I accidentally critically hit that custodian with Pete when he wasn't able to, because he was dual wielding. But I mean, theoretically, I might have been able to do something to add more damage, or something. I don't know. But we will leave it at that. Oh, so loot. Alright, so Bechamel gets $250. Doc gets a D6 times 25. Nice. And we get a D3 Darkstone. So 1 piece of Darkstone. Go to the tomb chest. And then that was 125 gold plus 250 gold. So it's all pretty good. Oh, and then everybody gets to catch their breath. So Bechamel will catch her breath. She gets 1 hit point back. Okay, and she also gets to recover a D3. She gets 1 fortune point back. I did remember this time, though, folks. I did. I remember to get, when she catches her breath, to get fortune points back. Doc gets to heal 3, which is all that he had. So Bechamel still has 4 wounds on her. And then Pete gets to recover 2. So he still has 4 as well. Alright, so it's not time to use bandages. Since 4 is the minimum that Doc can heal, it's kind of a waste. So let us hold back the darkness and press on. 11 is good. Bechamel will roll to move. And she gets a 3. 1, 2, 3. Will she look through? I don't think she will. I think we're going to wait one more turn. We need Doc to come catch up. So speaking of which, Doc gets a big 2. 1, 2. Yay. Because Doc does not have a +1 move. Oh yeah, Bechamel has the +1 move. I do need to try to remember that as well, that Bechamel has the +1 move. And then Pete gets to move 1, but hey, he gets a grit. So that was not entirely a loss. So let's hold back the darkness again. A 10 is good. Bechamel, rolling to move. 1, she gets a grit. Huzzah. Alright, so she's back up to 2 grit. That also gets her last fortune point back. Boom, so she is full up there. Oh yeah. Pete. Oh, because Pete moved. I got to remember that at the start of his turn, he gets to roll. So that was the start. No, he didn't. Of course, he didn't get that grit. Doc rolling to move. He's gonna move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Let's look through. See what we can see. What the next map is, and it is some jagged cliffs. Alright, let's try to make some room here, figure out how I'm going to do this. Because I will probably need to backtrack at some point. Or maybe not, but... Okay. You guys see that? You guys can see that. Good. Alright, we'll put that there. That's pretty good. We'll shift it up just a smidgen. Make sure I'm not blocking anything. Okay. Good enough. Good enough for right now. We get a token there. Okay, so interesting to note, there is a impassable line there that we cannot move across. It does look like it's gonna have line of sight, but it does not allow movement. And then Pete. It's Pete's turn. What are you doing, Pete? Pete is just gonna move up to there. Awesome. So what do we have? We have an ambush attack with 2 X's. Well, obviously there's only 1, but we are ambushed, which is going to make things a little crazy. So let us see. Are we ambushed by Black Fang? D6, 1, 2, or 3. 3. We are ambushed by a paradise of Black Fang Tribe. 5. We have 5 Black Fangs, so this could be dangerous. Okay, so Black Fang Tribe. Alright, so we got 1 there. We have 1 here. We have 1 here. Actually, I guess technically you can go here. Alright, who gets the first extra is going to be Pete. Over here, and then who gets the other extra? The other 2, Bechamel, which is alright. Okay, Well, Mr. Black Fangs, they are initiative 6 plus 2. They are initiative 8. So, regardless, they were going first anyway. So let's hold back the darkness. See what happens. Where double 6s would be useful. A 9 is still okay. And what do? We have the Black Fang Tribes. Alright, so I guess we'll kind of work our way clockwise. So 3 dice from him on Bechamel. Well, actually, I guess technically, so let's just do this. So there's 6 dice on Bechamel. Oh, no, I do have to do them individually because they have Darkstone. That's right. Peril dice plus 2. They have 5 pieces of Darkstone. That's right. I was like, I knew there was a reason we did. We had to do them individually. So they have 5 pieces of Darkstone. So you know what? Let's do it reverse order because Bechamel's the weakest, and so try to get them to spend their Darkstone ahead of time. So he is going to. Well, we got 6 dice. Or 3 and 3. So the first guy gets their 5+, so that's 2 hits on Pete. The next guy, okay, so he gets 2 hits, and then spends one of the Darkstone to add another D6. So 2 more hits. On to Pete. So, now Pete rolls his defense against all of these. And, ooh, he does not block 1. Excellent. So that is going to be 2 points of damage on to Pete, which puts him up to 6. Wait, no, sorry. Did I not roll the catch your breath? No, Pete healed 2. He already actually was. That's right. I think. I don't remember if I actually took the wounds off that he healed, but that's fine. Whatever. Just 2 wounds. Okay. On to Doc. So Doc has... That guy's just attacking 3 dice. He on 5s, so he is going to spend 1... to do 3 more, so that's going to be a total of 4 hits on Doc from that fellow. Doc blocks 2, so that's going to be 4 wounds. Okay, so he is going to do 3 dice on Doc. 1 hit. Spend a Darkstone. Do another 2 hits, so a total of 3 hits on Doc. So that's 2 more, so that's going to be 4 more wounds. Excuse me. So Doc is up to 8. So then he also does 3 attacks on Bechamel. Again, 1 hit and another 4 hits. So 5 hits on Bechamel. And that does 2 wounds each. So she misses all of them. That's 10. And she's got 14, okay, of her 16. So she can take this. I don't need to heal her yet. She blocks 3. So she takes 4 more wounds. And she is at 8 of 16. And then this fellow, 3 dice against Doc. Spends another Darkstone. They're almost out of Darkstone. So he has 1 hit plus 2. So 3 hits on Doc. Doc blocks 1, so that's going to be another 4 wounds on Doc. So Doc is now at 12. Gonna be time for healing. All right, and then attacks on Bechamel. There's 1/6 and an additional 3. So again, so that's gonna be 4. So she is at 8. If she does not block any of these, she will go unconscious. But she does have full grit and fortune. So I think she can block at least one of them, which she does. And in fact, she will spend a grit to re-roll these 3. Alright, so she just takes 2 wounds. Much better, so she is at 10. And then Doc will heal those up when we get a chance. Alright, that was the Black Fang Tribe's turn. Bechamel's turn. So, roll to move. Nope. And she's fine. She's going to stay there. She gets 2 hits, a 4 and a 5. So not criticals, but she does get 2 hits. And then she'll apply both of them to, yeah, sure, to that one. One of the ones that are attacking her. They are a 2 defense. Actually, let's do 1 at a time. So that is 1 wound. And puts a stun on him, which reduces down. And then he'll attack him again. So 2, but he's now he was -1 defense, so he is now, that is 1 more wound, which is why I did it that way rather than rolling them both. He is double stunned as well. Alright, and so that was Bechamel. Doc. So Doc will roll to move. Okay. Nope. He's going to stay there. He's adjacent to 3. Alright, I think 2 things he's going to do before that. He's going to go ahead and heal himself. So that's a d6 plus 3. So that is 5. That will heal himself for 5. He'll use one of his bandages. Okay. And then he's also going to heal Bechamel. Again for 5. Spending another bandages. Alright. Now he's going to roll his 6 dice to attack. Hitting on 4s. Gets 1 free reroll. He has no grit. Ugh. Come on, Doc. He gets 1 free reroll. That is a miss. Do we spend not really anything else. 2 hits. That just sucks. Out of 6 dice. He is not getting used to these new weapons yet. Man. Do we use a you know what? Let's use a fortune to let him reroll one of these. Okay. 2 hits. So it's going to be up to Pete, I guess. 2 hits. D6 plus 1. We're going to put him on the injured one. We need to try to get rid of him. Okay, so that will indeed do 2-4, right? 2-4. Maximum of 2 endurance. And they have 6. So that actually is enough to kill one. Because Bechamel did 2. Which, hooray, once per turn when you kill an enemy with a combat hit, recover grit on a d6 roll of 3+. Unlikely, because 4+, I mean. So, yep. Per usual, I don't recover a grit for any ability that gives me a 50% chance of recovering a grit. If I sound a little bitter, that's because I am a little bit bitter. That would have been a clutch to get him, obviously, some grit since he's having trouble rolling. Alright, then it's on to Pete. So Pete is dual wielding, obviously. Again, red dice are going to be the Gunfighter's Pistol. White are the Tredaran Trench Pistol. He takes the 1 corruption hit, which he does block. So hitting on 4 or better. Oh, I forgot he can lasso somebody, which wouldn't be a bad idea. It does drop their combat and defense down by 1. I guess he'll do one of the guys that are attacking him. Yeah, I guess so. Actually, no. He'll go ahead and throw it at this guy. Just because that one's attacking both Bechamel and Doc. Alright, hitting on 4s. That was pretty pathetic. So he'll spend his 1 grit to re-roll these. That's still pretty pathetic. So 3 hits. See if we can kill one of the ones that are on him. They are defensive 2. So I need, if I can get 3, 4 or betters on damage here, it'll kill him. I do not. I come close, though. So, 2, 4, 5. So 5 wounds on that one. Not quite enough, though. Oh, he did have a chance to recover grit on a d6 roll when he lassoed somebody. Needs to be in the box, though. Hey! Finally got one of those to work. Alright. It's not worth re-rolling that 3, though. Yeah. Alright. Let us hold back the darkness. A 9 is good. Alright, let's go ahead and attack again. We'll start over here. So 3 dice on Pete. 1 hit. Pete attempts to block, and he does. 3 dice on Pete. Okay. 1 hit plus 4 more hits. So 5 defense. Tests. He blocks 3 of them. 2 get through. So that's going to be 4 wounds. So Pete has taken a total of 10 at this point. Alright. 3 dice on Doc. Oh, and that used up the last of their Darkstone. 3 dice on Doc. 2 hits. Doc's defense blocks 1, so that's 2 wounds on Doc. Alright, and last, so he's going to do 2 dice on Doc. So he gets 1 hit. Doc does not block, so it's going to be 2 more wounds. And then 2 dice on Bechamel. 1 hit. Bechamel blocks it. Alright, Bechamel. Roll to move. 1. She gets a grit, which also gets a fortune. So she is back up. Alright, so she attacks. Again, the one that's next to her. Well, let's see. We see 2 6s. Great, so 2 critical hits. She's actually going to spread them out. Oh, she can't, because she's got to kill the guy. Kill the guy first, right? So... Alright, so that's going to be 2 stuns. Because, obviously, she's got a +1 damage. So the minimum she's doing is 2. He has a lasso, so he is -1. So, how much damage? So, yeah, they are both going to do... I probably should have done them one at a time. To make them -2 defense. But I did not. Silly me. So basically, he has a 1 defense. I rolled a 1. You know what? She's going to spend a fortune to reroll that. So because it is important to do the 2 wounds, I think. So there we go. So 3 minus 1 is 2. So that's 2 4 wounds on that fellow. Alright. Doc rolls to move. Yeah, he's still adjacent to those 2, so we'll go for that. Try to clear these suckers out. So here goes Doc. 6 rolls. Well, that is better. That is better. So 4 hits, 1 of which is a critical hit. So the critical hit will be an automatic 2 points. Actually, he is at a 0, so I don't actually want to even I want to use the critical hit on him. So I am doing a minimum of 2 points of damage because he is at 0, because he has a 2 and then -1 for the lasso, -1 defense for the stun. So 2 4 is enough to do. Actually, I only need one hit to do 2 points of damage to kill him. Let's use my reach. Alright, let's grab the lasso back. And the stun's back. Perfect. And then, so that leaves 3 left. So, but he does still have armor. So, that's going to be 2 points. The critical hit is 2 wounds automatically on this fellow. And then I'm a D6 plus 1, and he has 2 defense. So I'm subtracting 2 off of these. If I can roll, let's see, subtracting just 3 or better, right? Yeah, 3 or better on both of these dice, which I do. Because again, that was a 5, so that is a 4. 5 minus 2 is 3, which becomes a 2. And then 5 and 1 is 6. Minus his 2 defense is a 4. Endurance, obviously, it becomes a 2, but that's still 2, 4, 6. That is enough to kill him. Alright. And that does mean that Doc has a potential of recovering a grit, which he does. Hey. This is dissection. And then there were 2, and it is Pete's turn. Again, he is going to dual wield, so he takes a corruption hit, which he blocks. Good. And then shooting, only 3 hits. He completely whiffed with the fallen gunfighter's pistol, which is kind of funny. But he did get 3 hits. We'll put 1 hit on him. -2 is 1. He only had 1 wound left, so that is enough to kill him. Which leaves 2. Again, -2, so 2 and 2 is 4. Not quite enough to kill him completely, but that works. So let's start of the turn, hold back the darkness. And 11 is still good. And he is going to attack Pete. So 1 hit. And Pete blocks it. Bechamel rolls to move. Ooh, a 1. She's already maxed on grit, but that does get her fortune back. And she will go ahead and move the 1, because remember we're kind of coming this way anyway. And she's going to shoot. 1 hit. It is a critical hit, which means he's only got 2 hit points left, 2, 4, yep, and her attacks do a d8 plus 1 because it's a critical. So the minimum she can do is 2, and that will be enough to kill, which means she has a chance to recover a fortune, which she doesn't need because she's already maxed out. Alright, so catch her breath, which gets her a d3 fortune as well. I need to spend more fortune. I guess. Didn't even think about that. Alright, so she's going to recover her breath. She gets to heal 2. She's down to 2 wounds, thank goodness. Doc recovers 1. He's still got 10. Actually, Bechamel finished it, right? So they have the option. Never mind. He's going to take a grit. And I think both he and Pete are going to take a grit. Because Bechamel finished them off, so they did not go in that turn. And loot. I forgot to see if they had a trait. My bad. So let's say they did not have a trait. I forgot about that. All the Black Fangs, whenever they come, you need to roll this, see if they have a Black Fang trait. Alright, so Bechamel gets 1 piece of dark stone. Okay, Doc gets d6 times 25 again. And again, he gets another 125. And then Pete gets 250. So it's pretty much the same things we've been getting here. Alright, folks. That was a kind of couple interesting. I still have not found any of the altars yet, so let's hold back the darkness. Double 3s. Alright, so we finally rolled doubles that were not double 6s, which means somebody is attacked by Eldritch Lightning, as I recall. Still don't move the darkness track, which is nice. Eldritch Lightning. So yes, depth of event is rolled doubles. Instead of the normal result, 1 random hero is struck by a bolt of Eldritch Lightning. So that is... Pete is struck by Eldritch Lightning for 3 wounds, ignoring defense, as well as a number of corruption hits equal to his hero level. So he takes 2 corruption hits. He's going to take 3 wounds and 2 corruption hits. He does get to defend against them, and he did. Right there. Perfect. So what else? Oh, okay. And yeah, Doc's gonna need to heal Pete and himself, I think. So we'll start with Bechamel rolling to move. A 1. Well, that's fine, I guess. She's full up, so I guess she'll add it to another. Get her a little bit closer. Doc, rolling to move. Gets to move the big 2. 1, 2. Oh, sorry. Before he actually moves, he will heal Pete for 7. Okay, it puts Pete at 6 wounds. Alright, and then he moves his 2. And then Pete moves 1. He is full. Oh, he is not full up on grit because. Oh, yeah, he is. Because they are not in the mines. So the gold teeth, which are +1 max grit while in the mines, do not apply because we are in the canyons, not the mines. So he might as well use it to move more. So he'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Something like that. I don't think I want to look through quite yet, so we'll wait till next turn. Alright, let's hold back the darkness. Double 5s. Ooh, another bolt of Eldritch Lightning for 5 wounds. This is going to be a little rough. This is down, but we did say, oh, and I forgot, we need to make the horror hits. So let's retro back just a smidgen. So 1 horror hit on Bechamel, which she blocks. 1 horror hit on Pete, which he does not, so he's going to take 1 point of sanity. For those who are not remembering, we have this Void Lantern, which let us roll 2 Paradise for holding back the darkness. But if doubles are rolled, you take a d6 horror hits, and every other hero takes 1 horror hit. And Doc has this. So Doc takes a d6 horror hits, so he's going to take 5, which is going to be okay because he's got a 3+ willpower. So he failed 1, and he has a 4+ spirit armor, which doesn't help him there. So, but one more sanity. Okay. 1 point sanity. So now we've got this. So let's go ahead and do that. So Bechamel takes 1, so she will take 1 point of sanity. Pete blocks his. Doc takes 2. He fails 1, saves 1, and the spirit armor protects him, so he doesn't take any. Now, random hero is going to take 5 wounds. Bechamel takes 5 wounds. Ouch. And then she takes 2 corruption hits. She blocks 1, so she takes 1 point of corruption. Blah. Don't like corruption. I know, some people do. Some people do. And some people like the mutations. Most of the mutations I have had have gotten over the course of personal playing, not through like the Apple Turnover Gang or Joseph Scott's, but most of the mutations in general that I have gotten have not been very handy. So let's see. Oh, that was the start of the turn. So Bechamel rolls to move. She gets another 1. Well, Doc can move through, so that's fine for her. And actually, it doesn't matter because she's got +1 move, and she's maxed up on grit and everything. So, boom, she can go there, and we can look through. And what do we find? We find a cross passage. Alright, so let's go ahead and move and slide everything up. So one thing that we will need to note here is, I believe that the canyons here, and the canyon deck, is going to have a slightly higher rate of corridors to rooms, I believe. Simply because it's thinner. Obviously, right? It's kind of like another world. So rather as opposed to the mines, for example, right? So the mines is the map deck for the mines is pretty huge. There's a lot more rooms than there are corridors. So anyway, all right, and you know what? And I've got enough stuff back. Now we got a cross passage. I don't think I need any of these old, like the starting tile. I don't think we'll need to backtrack at this point. But so there's that. Doc gets to move a big 6. So sure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then Pete can move 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're good there. We'll kind of spiral in, kind of what we normally do, just to try to keep it, tight and tidy there. So let us hold back the darkness, since that is the end of the turn, unless I mean, Doc is at 11 wounds. Does he want to heal? Oh, and Bechamel's at 7 of her 16. Obviously, he's not next to Bechamel. So, alright, no, we're good. Oops. 6 and 4 is 10. We are still good. Bechamel, rolling to move. She rolls a 1 again. She does get 2 movement, and then she gets to use her other grit to move even farther. So she'll go 1, 2. She will actually look through. And we find a box canyon. Interesting. That's an interesting looking room. Hold on. Alright, here we go. Box canyon. Make sure you all can see that. Kind of move it up a little bit so that we can get the perfect. Oh, and then we get a token. One of these has got to be a clue token, right? All right. Doc. You know what? And we'll just hang out there. And then Pete. Doesn't really matter. He's just going to move. Move like that. Alright, let's see what we get. Still no clue token. There are only 2 exits, so which direction is not the exit? Straight ahead. It is going to split. And then we get 2 encounters. You know, I don't know if there are canyon encounters. Hold on. So in fact, there are canyon encounters. That's what I was thinking. Canyons actually are kind of like another world. And I actually should look and see if there's an actual like card for them in this case. But I may be missing some sort of you know, special rule for canyons. But at this point, I'm just going to say no. Say no. We have 2 encounters, and then we have a chance to get a Black Fang encounter. So it is a 1, 2, or 3, which we do. So we will also have a Black Fang encounter. So let's see what we get as far as the canyon encounters. Ooh, these are new and fresh. I have not actually looked at any of these. So let's see. We have a Man-Eater Cactus. Long vines and thorn tendrils extend across the canyon floor and walls here, all emanating from a massive, brightly colored cactus at the center of the valley. Flowers bloom on its surface and vines, but as you step closer, the blades of the cactus's core begin to quiver, and you swear that the vines around your feet just moved. Any time hero enters a space of this map tile, ooh, and we've got a long way to go. Well, actually, we could step out. We could step out and just go through one of the other ones, which we might want to do rather than taking this. You have to make an escape 3+ if successful. And keep moving. If failed, your move ends. You immediately take D6 hits as the Man-Eater Cactus tears at you, attempting to drag you into its spined maw. So yeah, we may just avoid this room. And go, since we're at a cross passage, right? So that just may be what happens. And then second, Darkstone Geodes. Several massive round boulders sit here. At the base of the cliffside, one of them is cracked open to reveal that the inside is hollow, lined with jagged darkstone crystals, glimmering with a magical glow. You may be able to break off some if you can reach in far enough. One hero can make an agility 5+ test. For every 5+ rolled, you collect 1 darkstone. For every 1 rolled, in fact, actually, there's no may. You must. For every 1 roll, take D3 wounds, ignoring defense on 1 corruption hit as you cut yourself on the black rock. There's nothing on here that says you may. So apparently, we are greedy and attempting to grab some darkstone. So I think I'm going to go with Pete. Pete's got tied for the highest agility because Bechamel has a 3. Pete has a 2, but +1 because of his ribbon. He's actually got a 4. He's got the eagle feather as well. So he's also got the most wounds. He can take the most corruption. Yeah. So, Pete, agility. So he's a 5+, and we want to not roll ones. Okay. Well, so he got 1 Darkstone and didn't roll any ones. Perfect. All right, that works. That works for me. And then the Black Fang Tribe encounter is a trophy room. So the room is filled with bones, furs, and items hanging from the walls and ceiling. This is clearly a collection of trophies ceremonially placed here to gain favor from the spirits and maybe the giant man-eating cactus. You can't help but be tempted to look through its gruesome display to see if there's anything of value before the owner's return. Each hero must choose to search the trophies, make a luck 5+ test. If successful for each 5+ rolled, you can draw a loot card. For each 1 roll, take 1 horror hit that does 3 sanity damage. Or Honor the Dead, on a roll a d6. On a 4+, you can recover a grit. Then, if more than half the heroes made the search test failed, ambush attack. Alright, so I think Doc and Pete, I mean, we're maxed out on grit again, but I think Doc and Pete, they don't have great luck. So, Doc and Pete are going to Honor the Dead. So it won't make a difference. Yeah, they can't hold the grit, and there's nothing to use the grit for. So neither one of them are going to actually do something. We will make the luck test with Bechamel. She has a 5 luck. Let's get rid of this. So she needs a 5+, not roll any ones. She did roll 1-1. She did get 2 5+. There's going to be 2 loot cards. She will actually spend a fortune point to try to pump the 1 up. Okay? Just so it's not a 1. So, I make another luck test. 5+. I need at least 1 5+, which she did. So, in fact, she can put it up by 3. Which would make it a 4. Interesting. If I had rolled 4 of them, it actually would have made it into a 5. Which would have given me another one. So cool. So she gets a loot card. 2 loot cards, I mean. In fact. Kind of an interesting one. So, what do we find? We find 50 gold and an artifact card. We are not in another world. It just isn't the mines. So, I believe that's the way this works, because I don't think this counts as another world. This is still Earth, right? Or however. Cool. So that means, dun dun dun, Canyon artifact. Awesome. It's going to be a new thing. Okay, and we find a Dead Man's Canteen. Place 6 sanity markers here. You may transfer sanity damage from here to yourself at any time to heal 2 wounds each. At the start of each adventure, refill to 6 sanity markers. Well, that's going to be handy. The question is, who's got the most sanity? Nobody has great sanity. Doc has the most sanity. He also has the best save. I mean, not that these save against, but for getting an additional. And he has a spear and armor. But he also tends to get more because of the doubles for the Void Lantern. But I still think, I think we're going to give it to Doc. And that will allow him to save a little bit, so that he doesn't need to heal himself quite as much with the bandages. It'll save us some bandages. Excuse me. Okay. So let's start the next turn, holding back the darkness. 10 is good. So, it's anytime a hero enters a space on that map tile, they have to make an escape test. So, yeah, I mean, each space, right? Anytime you enter a space. So, for each one, we'd have to make that roll. Escape test and potentially take hits. And, yeah, so we are going to avoid that map tile. We're just going to go back and go a different way. So, Bechamel. Actually, so the question is, does Doc want to heal people? No, we can wait. We can wait till there's a fight or something. So Bechamel is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and she's going to peek through. Let's see what is that way, and that is white water. All right. Move some of this stuff out of the way. This one goes. Put that kind of up there. Can you guys see it? It's cut off a little bit, isn't it? Alright. You guys can't quite see. It's a fairly large room here. I'll move it just a smidgen more. Yeah, that should work. Put that over there. Alright, that'll work. There aren't too many tokens in here. I think there's only like 5 left, and 3 of them have the clue icons, and I need 2 of them. And we are almost to the middle section of the depth track. So that was Bechamel. So Doc, blah. Well, he gets an extra one. You can automatically spend it, so that's 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then Pete. And again, he gets, because again we are maxed out on our grit, which is a good thing. It's a good thing. All right, what do we have? We have an encounter and our first clue token. So, what does the clue token do? So, the clue token is a Black Fang altar. So each time we find the clue icon, they have discovered one of the Black Fang altars as a dread objective. Ignore any doors. So we ignore any doors. So this is going to just close this off. Boom. Okay. I'm going to place a Black Fang altar marker in the back leftmost 2 spaces of the map tile. Alright, so when we've got these altars here, so, back left 2, which would be over here. So, left as the characters are looking. Okay, each Black Fang, encounters or attacks on the exploration token are resolved as normal. So we will have 1 encounter. So, 1 encounter card. In addition, roll a d6 on a 1, 2, or 3. It is guarded by enemies. Draw a threat card. So, is it? It is. So the question is, are they Black Fang? They are. So we are finding some Black Fang. They are 5 Black Fang. Okay. Then we need to see if they have a trait. I know, lots of rolling. 1, 2, or 3, they do have a trait card. So let's see what kind of Black Fang we got. We got a whole bunch of stuff to deal with here. Okay, so it is Call of Umquari. Black Fang Tribe are +1 defense for every 2 Darkstone currently in their pool. They are also +1 damage on all their attacks against any hero that is not keyword tribal. Which I believe nobody is tribal. We got some Frontier, we got a Performer. Yeah, I don't think the Showman, Frontier, yeah. Yep. Okay. So,